Hey all, Dr. Jared here. I wanted to share one of our thoughts of the week with you, which is, chiropractic is part of every, I'll say major league and realistically every college sport, but why? I thought I'd just share with you, I'm going to say a few studies or a few different pieces of research or a couple different, I'm going to say thoughts, but ultimately, while many people traditionally might think of chiropractic care as more of a pain relief treatment, it's actually most frequently utilized in professional sports or high-level sports for performance and injury prevention. Well, certainly it can prevent pain, and I thought I'd share just a few 5 different examples technically. So here's one that maybe is the most unique. So as you probably know, chiropractic is phenomenal for managing something called post-concussion syndrome. So not the actual concussion itself, but the impact and the neurological compromise that can come from post-concussion syndrome. And so chiropractic treatment, specifically in the upper cervical or the upper part of the neck, is linked to a much higher level of function and 2 aspects in 2 different sports. One is is hockey. So for instance, somebody who's had a concussion in hockey is 4 times more likely to tear their ACL, their knee, over the next 2 years after a concussion, because again, neurologically, the body has to know where it is. It's called proprioception. And actually that study, or the repeat of that study, came from a good friend of mine who was up until recently the team chiropractor for the San Jose Sharks, the professional hockey team. So again, getting adjusted to manage that. Also, another example of that with post-concussion syndrome, a former Chicago Bears quarterback was sidelined, was almost bedridden for years due to severe headaches, had all sorts of medical treatment, and then had a very specific chiropractic adjustment on his atlas, on the top bone in his neck. And he famously had felt like the toilet flushed, and he had all this fluid drain out of his head. And what they think is it was actually the injury was blocking what's called cerebral spinal fluid from flowing from his brain down his spinal cord and back. And so completely changed his life. Some other examples of chiropractic and performance. There's, in professional basketball, John Stockton was supposedly adjusted up to 4 times a day on game day. And if you know John Stockton's story, not only did he play against the Bulls in 2 NBA finals, but also he retired after age 40, and not because he didn't have a contract, but actually over some controversy over the uniforms, supposedly, but getting adjusted up to 4 times a day on game day. There's also the man who held the bench squat and deadlift record in the United States for over 30 years, was adjusted 4 times a week and famously never had a back injury, even though he was squatting at some points over 1,000 pounds. So again, staying aligned helped with performance. Now you might be thinking, well, I don't squat 1,000 pounds, but even something as like recreational golf, when you talk about squatting or deadlifting or how hard heavy weightlifting can be on your body, it's estimated that 4 swings with the driver, 4 swings with the biggest club in your golf bag, is the equivalent of the torsion or the torque on your lower back is 90% of a maximum deadlift. And so again, there's, in professional golf and in amateur golf, lower back issues are among the top, if not the top reason people have to stop golfing or take time off of golfing. And many people think of it as not a physical sport because it's a non-contact sport, but that how hard a golf club is swung does put a huge amount of torsion on the back. And so those that are regularly adjusted have less injuries and are likely able to play longer, hit the ball farther, straighter, things like that. In fact, one of the last surveys done on professional athletes, professional golfers had the highest frequency of adjustment. And it was actually stated that the highest paid golfers, one of the 6 people that they tend to travel with is their own personal chiropractor. So again, just a few studies depending on the sports that you like, that you watch, or that you personally practice in. But chiropractic is way more than pain relief, and so often is for performance or injury prevention, which is a reason to get adjusted regardless of how good you feel. I hope you have a very blessed